This is one of the most important things you must do for every single essay. You want to find a way to brag without them knowing that you're bragging. People always mess this part up. That's why they never get the scholarship. People fail to realize that a scholarship essay, there's really two parts to it. So if they see you doing all of that before the money, hey beautiful people, it's your girl Peace and welcome back to my channel. So on this channel I make a lot of videos to help you thrive in high school so you can easily transition into college and then thrive there too. So if you are a high school junior, senior, or a college student, this is definitely the channel to be on. So be sure to subscribe and join the fam. So about 2 months ago, I made a video that's really doing well, titled basically the ultimate scholarship guide. And in that video, I went over basically every single thing that I wish I knew when I was applying to scholarships. In that video, I defined terms. I gave you some resources to find scholarships. I taught you how to organize a scholarship, what to include in every single scholarship application. Then I gave you guys a list of scholarships to apply to. That was a really in-depth video and y'all really loved it. So I heard what y'all was saying, so I decided to make a part 2 of that. So in this video, I'm going to tell you guys how to write an award-winning essay. I repeat, an award-winning scholarship essay. Whew. So if you've applied to scholarships and you weren't winning them, it's because you haven't watched this video. I'm just gonna say it, okay? So I'm here to help you guys, so be sure to share this with a friend so they can thrive as well. Be sure to like this video, comment, subscribe. It really helps when you engage with my content, and YouTube algorithm just pushes it out to more people. So leave a like, leave a comment if you're feeling up to it. So I'm a rising college junior. So literally I was in the same position that you are in right now 2 years ago. So I learned a lot. I made a little mistakes here and there. So I want to make sure that you don't make the exact same mistake that I did. So that's why I'm making this video. Today, I'll talk about tips, tricks, how to go about with writing sob stories and stuff like that. I'll go over every single thing, I promise. And I do not make a promise that I cannot keep. The timestamps are below. You can skip around if you want to, but I do recommend that you stick around to the very ending because the last 2 tips are the absolute most important ones. So be sure to stick around for that. If you need help with a college essay in general, check out mine. I'm going to link it up here and down below. Comment below if you want more scholarship videos. I'm thinking about making a video answering certain scholarship prompts. Do y'all want that? Comment down below because I made this video because y'all comment below on the other video that you like so much. So I'm just listening to y'all. So talk to me. Comment shout out goes to Shalom. Thank you for leaving this sweet message. If you want a shout out on the next video, be sure to comment on this one. Without further ado, be sure to like, comment, share with a friend, subscribe because it's fun around here. And without further ado, let's get started. So I have 18 tips. Number one of the most important things that you have to do when applying to scholarships, you have to research what the scholarship is for. What do they stand for? Because once you figure that out, then you can tailor your essay precisely to that. This is a rookie mistake that literally a lot of people make. And it's for no reason. So it's kind of like a resume. You know, like now we're in the technology age. They have a whole system, an algorithm goes through your resume and they pick up certain keywords. It's kind of like that. You want to make sure that you have certain keywords in your essay that fits with what they're about. Because every scholarship stands for different things. So your job, you have to do just a little bit of research. So research what's their motto, what's their mission statement, what do they stand for, what's their goal. Because once you have that, all you gotta do is find certain words in there, tweak it a little bit, and then make sure that you include aspects of that. Find a way to include it in your essay. For example, if one of their motto, one of their statements is that they like leadership or stuff like that, you want to bring up your leadership qualities or stuff and how you portrayed being a leader in the past. Bring that up in your essay because you know that they're looking for it. It's all... Y'all, when I tell you guys, it's all connected. So find what they're looking for and not only find it, but present it to them. And when you present it to them, you want to present it to them on a silver platter. Maybe even a golden one. Shoot. If you don't know what they're looking for, how can you answer it? That's precisely why you should research. I would do this for every single scholarship that I apply to. I want to point out that with all my 18 tips, you can use these tips to literally make one essay and send that essay out to multiple different scholarships. to save your time. But in order for you to do that, for every essay, you have to change 2 things, okay? The essay can be identical, like literally identical, but you have to change 2 things. The first thing, you gotta change where it aligns with their goal. Like I said, every single scholarship stands for something different. So you have to make sure that in the aspects where you relate it to their goal, for every single essay, you kind of have to, tweak that. So that's the first section where you always have to change it. I hope that makes sense. The second part where you always have to change for every single essay, I'm gonna bring it up later on because it doesn't make sense for me to bring it up now, okay? So be sure to stick around and I'll bring it up again, I promise. Number 2, read and actually understand what the prompt is asking for. It's not enough to just read it. You reading without understanding, it's useless. It's like, so why did you read it? You have to make sure you actually understand what they're asking for. Speaking of understanding, number 3, you want to read in between the lines. Oh my God. Okay, are you guys ready? I'm gonna blow you away, okay? Now, I've made a lot of mistakes when applying to scholarships, okay? And I've read people who also made a lot of mistakes. I learned my lesson, so you don't have to learn it the hard way. People fail to realize that a scholarship essay, there's really 2 parts to it. There's the surface level part, and then there's like the below level part, okay? Most times, people look at the prompt and just answer the surface level prompt without targeting what's beneath it, and that's why they never get the scholarship. You want to use what they're saying to try to figure out what they're not saying. I hope that makes sense, because people always mess this part up. So let me give you an example, okay? I got you guys. Okay, a common essay prompt is like, tell me a time when you faced trials and tribulations and how you overcame it. Simple enough, right? Okay, now, most people would just tell them a story about a hard time that they faced and how they got through it. Cool, nice. But that's just half the battle. How do you make it go from here to here? How do you go the extra mile? How do you actually accomplish what they're looking for subconsciously? Easy. Yes, they're trying to hear about the hard time you faced, but they're also trying to hear about the personality traits that you've developed during that time. They're trying to see how you handle conflict. They're trying to see if you're resilient. They're trying to see if you're a leader or a follower. Certain things from that question that they're not asking right there and there, you want to decipher what they're actually really asking you. Essentially, they're trying to see who you are. Another example of this, to make it more simple, is like, y'all know in shows where they're like, oh, tell me where you were October 1st, 2001. Now, the surface level question is just asking the person, where were you at on this day at this time, right? But the subconscious question that they're really asking is, they think you did it. You know what I mean? So you want to figure out what they're not saying, what they're really asking for, but not saying. That is so key. Oh God, that is so important, okay? Keep this number 3 in mind. Go back and read your scholarship essays. Go back and read the prompts, and then you really start to see, yo, they're not really asking me about this. They're trying to see this. They're trying to see this. They're trying to see this. I know. I've done this for a minute now, y'all. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm talking about, okay? And when you figure that out, comment down below. Number 4, think outside the box. I want to remind you that they read thousands of essays. Thousands of people trying to get this scholarship. You want to make yourself stand out. You want to make yourself be unique. You want to find a way to showcase your uniqueness. What makes you stand out? What makes peace? What makes John? And I talk more about this in my college essay video. Check it out. But you want to use your experiences to make you stand out, because no one is like you. And if they are, they probably aren't applying to that same scholarship that you are applying to, okay? Really, no one is like you. So find a way to use your experiences, whether good or bad, to tweak you, to mold you to this unique person on paper who they may never meet, but want to invest into your future. Number 5, please do not make a full, complete essay be about a sob story. Like, don't make your essay be filled with you seeking pity. Like, oh, woe is me. Oh, this happened. And I'm sorry that you experienced that, but you don't want to like be so blatant about it. You don't want to seem so like, you know, you want to be low key about it, okay? And that leads me to my next point. Number 6, if you want to share your sob story or part of it, share it in only a small section of your essay, right? Don't make your whole essay be about it, but also talk about how you've changed. Talk about how you've grown. Talk about how you've evolved. Because one thing would be like, oh, woe is me, boo hoo 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 hoo. But like, turn it around. Make it inspirational. Make it how you've changed, how you've overcome. Like a rags to riches story. Like a, you know, phoenix rising out the ashes. You can't just make it a sad story, because who wants to read that? You know? So in my opinion, you want to leave the reader like smiling and cheesing at the ending of your essay, from the story arc, from the character development, from like, oh my god, this person, he was a bad boy, but now he's a reformed, now he's this, oh my god, cheesing like real hard, like showing all, I don't know how many teeth we have. And that's what you want. You don't want to do full blown out sobbing at the end of your essay, you know, like oh my god, wow, that is so sad. Because sometimes pity and sad doesn't work, like I said, because a lot of people are probably going to be using that angle. So you can use sad a little bit, but at the end to make it be like, oh, make him turn that frown upside down, you know? So all this to say, if you want to write a sob story, you can, but be sure to show how you've grown, how you've developed as a leader or as a person as a whole. Number 7, an amazing hook and a conclusion. I talked more about this also in my other essay, the college essay. Y'all check it out after this video if you have not. But you want to hook them. You want to like grab them by the balls, like I said in the other video. Grab them from the first line or the first word, so they'll want to stay to read more. And once they read more, at the ending, close it all out nice and wrapped up like a nice little bow. You know? So hook them so they can start reading, have some good things in there so they can continue reading, close it up, and leave them satisfied after they're done reading. Number 8. Oh my god, this is a big one. Please, please, and please do not answer the question straight out the gate. Now, I repeat, do not answer the question straight out the gate. Just for example, I can't think of an essay prompt right now. My head is everywhere. I'm a little bit tired. But if, for example, let's say the essay prompt was like, what is 2 plus 2? You can't just be like, first line, 2 plus 2 is 4.
2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths.
You can't do that, because if they already know the answer to that, they're not going to want to read. Like I said, you want to keep them reading for more. But if you answer the question out the gate, what's keeping them stay to read the rest of the story? They already know the answer. They already know where this is going to go. This was literally one of the biggest mistakes I made when applying. I'm ashamed to say, my very first couple scholarship essays that I wrote, I made this mistake. I'm like, okay, I don't have a lot of words. Let me just quickly just do it, write it down, and just get it over with. Answer your question from the jump, and then build on it. No. So if you can't do that, what can you do? Great question that you didn't ask. That leads to my next point. Number 9, you want to write a story. You want to build up the suspense. You want to build up to the climax, just like how in elementary and middle school they taught us how the different parts of a story, exposition, I think, something, a climax. You want to build up to it. Do not have the climax at the beginning of the story, because it's already up. Only place for it to go is down. I hope that makes sense. So write a story. If you need more details about that, watch my other video, right? Write a story, set the scene, but please, please, and please do not add extra fluff. If it does not contribute to the progression of the story, take it out. I repeat, if it does not contribute to the progression of the story, take it out. Please, 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 and please do not do this. So how can you tell if it will contribute to the progression of the story or not? Simple. I have a simple formula here, okay? If you're able to take that sentence out or that phrase out and it sounds the exact same and it doesn't add to the story, take it out. That's it. If the sentence that I had in there, I can take it out and the story line is the exact same, it doesn't do anything to it, it does not need to be there. It's just taking up words for no reason. It's just taking up space, and it can actually distract the reader from what's actually important. I'm a no BS girl, okay? So don't have any BS in your essays. But yeah, take it out expeditiously, like out. So the key to it is you want to tell a story, but not a long, rambly, drawn out, run-on sentence kind one, okay? Good. By the way, I'm halfway through the points, and if you're still here, that means you're really enjoying this video. So please do me a favor, be sure to like this video, comment down below if you're liking it so far, and share with a friend, because there's no reason why you should be put onto game and they shouldn't be as well. I know it's scholarship season, you're fighting for this and this, but I'm sure you and your friends have different goals, and plus it's your friend, you want them to win, so please share with a friend and put them on. But let's continue to number 10. Number 10, be sure to talk about like your major, your career goals, your life goals. Like I said before, they want to get to know you. Remember, they are investing into you. They're investing into your education. They want to make sure that you and your career goal is a good return on investment. They want to make sure that whatever they're putting in, they can get the same or more than that out. So essentially, they want to see if you're worth the investment. They want to see what the money will be used for. If you don't have a good reason to use the money, they're not going to give it to you. But if you're like, oh, I want to use this money to cure cancer, I need this money to make my own nonprofit, I want this money to do this, to do this, to do this, to do this, they get to know you a little bit more. They get to kind of put a face and a characteristic and a personality to the name on the paper. So essentially, make them know who you are and what you want to use the money for. So be sure to talk about your major, your career goal, your life goals. And if you're an undecided major, that's okay. That's good, because I understand it's college, you're supposed to figure yourself out. So if you're an undecided major, talk about what you're passionate about right now and kind of sort of make it sound like a major or a career goal or something like that. Make them realize that you have an actual solid plan for your life, because a lot of these people who apply to scholarships, they can't see it past high school or past college. So they want to see what are you doing after graduation. What are you going to do with that money, with your education? They want to fund your education, but what's that education going to do? How are you going to change the world with it? Number 11, showcase your accomplishments and what you've accomplished, your experiences and stuff like that. Now, the key to this, okay? The key to this, you want to find a way to brag without them knowing that you're bragging. Okay? Y'all with me? Brag without them knowing that you're bragging. How do you do that? You're going to find a way to infuse. That's what I want to use. Infuse your accomplishments and what you've done. Infuse parts of that into your essay. Now, there's some scholarships that will ask for your resume. So they kind of sort of already have that. So you don't have to go too in detail about it. But some scholarships will not ask for your resume. So you want to show them that, oh, I'm this. I know what I'm doing. You should invest into me. I know that in my essays when I was in high school, I would talk about, being senior class president or president of Science National Society, the different activities that I do, church choir, dance team, this. I wasn't just listening like a list or something like that. I was finding a way to bring it up. Oh, on my weekends, I spend my time at my church choir. But when I'm not find a way to infuse it, to make it casual, to make it seem humble. Like a humble brag, you know? Like, oh, I know I'm that girl, but I'm not going to say too much about it, you know? You know, you have worked too damn hard to not milk your struggles, okay?
I've been suffering. I suffered for 19 years. It's time for me to shake my ass on a yacht. In Dubai. In a thong.
It's time to relax. The key to this is when you're showcasing your experiences and accomplishments and stuff like that, be sure to tie it back to your career and your life goals. Show them how you've worked or how you're currently working to accomplish your future life goals, which is why it's important for you to mention it earlier on so they know why you're doing the things you're doing. By you bringing it up and tying it to your life goals and bringing up what you've done in your accomplishments, it shows that you're taking the initiative to work towards your goal. It's not like you're saying, oh, when I receive this scholarship, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. That's nice and dandy, but that applicant compared to someone who's like, oh, when I receive the scholarship, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. But until then, I've been doing this. I've been doing this. I've been doing this. I've been doing this. I've been doing all this stuff without the money. So imagine what will happen when I have the money to fund my dreams, when I have the money to fund my passion, my education. Are y'all feeling me? I hope y'all feeling me, because, Number 12. This is kind of sort of under experience, but I have to make it a different section because it's just as important. So you want to showcase your community service and your volunteering. Show them and talk about how you've positively impacted your community. Now, if you think about it, okay, take a step back and think about it. A scholarship is kind of sort of like volunteering. It's kind of sort of like community service because you're helping the people in your community. You're giving to the less fortunate. So they're trying to see if you've done that, because that means you're already online with their mission, their goal to help people. And here you are helping people for free. Here you are volunteering at the soup kitchen for free. Here you are assisting with runs for arthritis to raise money. Here you are doing this, and this to help people. And you're already doing that. So if they see you doing all of that before the money, before you get 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, sheesh. Let me stop. I watch too much TikTok. That's all I'm going to say. Sheesh. Or like the dude here. They're like, I can't. I'm so late on the trends and stuff, but like, how did they do it? Whatever. So an extra point, an extra +1 if you find a way to make your volunteering tie into your career goals. So if you are pre-med, you're going to med school. That's your goal, which you talked about early on, right? Like I talked about in number 10 when I said talk about your life goals, right? If you say, oh, your goal is pre-med, this and this, and then you're here volunteering at a hospital, it makes sense because you want to be pre-med. It ties into your thing. So that's an extra, extra point if you do that. Number 13, be sure to check your grammar. I have read too many essays, too many, okay? Too damn much. And anytime I see a grammatical error or a punctuation that's wrong or missing, I immediately get turned off. And that's just me reading a couple or a few essays. Imagine these people who read thousands. They're going to be more angry and worse mood than I am. You don't want that. You don't want that. So be sure to check, double check, triple check your essays and the grammar. So if you have a really good essay but you don't have the right punctuation, or you put in a comma instead of a semicolon, it's not going to help you, sis. It's not going to help you, bro. Like, it's not. Or this one. If the reader struggles to read your essay, or they have to read it twice to understand it, you messed up. You have fumbled the bag. Because if you think about it, most times they're not even going to try that hard to read it. If I have to be like, oh, the orange watermelon. No, they're not even going to try that hard. They see something, they're going to move on. They're not going to try that hard. So don't give them a harder time than you have to. Like I said, if they have to read it twice, they most likely will not even read it twice, if I'm being honest with you. Completely honest with you. They're not going to do that. So try to avoid that. It's something that with scholarship season, it's a little bit hectic. You're tired. You may find out about a scholarship that's due literally the same day in a few hours, and you're struggling to turn everything in. I understand. It can be a very stressful time. I definitely understand. But you turning an essay with a lot of grammatical errors, the same thing as you not turning an essay at all, in my opinion. So be sure to double check and use like Microsoft Word review, spelling check, but also use Grammarly. They really pick up on those things. So don't just use one or the other. I use both. Sure, sometimes for fun, I'll go to like wordcounter.com or something and I put that in and it also checks it for me. You can never be too sure, okay? Yes, that's extra, but like, I'm gonna make the money so I can be as extra as I want to. Who gonna check me? Number 14. Talk about why you're getting a college degree, why you're getting a further education, and its importance in your life. For my 10th tip, I told you guys to talk about your career goals and all that good stuff. But you want to talk about why you're actually doing it, because you just saying it doesn't really help. For example, me doing YouTube, if I want to talk about that in my essay, I can talk about that. But I'm going to say, oh, the reason why I'm doing YouTube is because I was once a very, very shy girl. I experienced stage fright in so many areas of my life. So by me putting myself out there on the internet, I am going against my normal nature. I'm trying to break out my shell. Now, I told you what I'm doing, my current plans with YouTube or whatever, but I was telling the points. I'm giving you a little bit backstory. This all goes back to them trying to figure out who you are. Why is that important to you? Why do you want to go to med school? Is it because you lost a loved one early on? Why are you doing cancer research? Is it because you lost a family member, a grandmother to like breast cancer or something? They want to understand why education is important to you. I'm going to college because my parents want me to. They're not going to give you the money if you say that. They're not going to give you the money. So don't do that, okay? They're like, make it sound fancy, okay? Let me give you guys an example of a prompt to help you with that. So you can say something like, oh, furthering my education will bring me closer to my goal of becoming a blank. So fill in whatever it is, okay? For example, furthering my education and getting a bachelor's degree in biology will bring me closer to my goal of becoming a medical doctor so I can help people in impoverished areas. Furthering my education of getting my IT degree will bring me closer to my goal of owning my own company where I help people with IT problems by preventing hackers or something like that. You want to make it sound fancy. You don't go to Target, you go to Target. Okay? You know? Number 15. Talk about how receiving the scholarship will help you. Of course, duh. Receiving the scholarship is going to help you because college is cheap. You're a broke college student. Duh. But you can't say that. You're going to make it sound fancier, you know? Like I said, Target versus Target. Which one do you want to go to? So don't be like, oh, I'm broke, I'm poor, I'm this. No. Rather, because you have my ultimate guide, my key to scholarships, and because you're going to share with a friend, you're going to be like, oh, receiving the scholarship will relieve some of the financial burden so I can further my education. Something like that. Make it sound fancy, guys. You have to make it sound fancy, but not too stuck up, you know? And it's important for you to not be stuck up, because if you're trying to be stuck up and rich, oh, I don't need this, I don't need this, they're giving money to people who need it. So if you're actually rich and if you don't actually need it and you're showing that kind of vibe from your essay, they're not gonna give you the money. Okay. Oh, this is so important too. You want to make sure that you include the name of the scholarship to make them feel special, to make them feel like you actually put time and effort into this essay, to make them feel like you're not reusing the essays, which you are, but they can't know that. You want to make it seem more personalized. I remember earlier in this video, I told you guys that there are 2 times and 2 things that you always have to change for every single essay. The first one is you tweaking your essay to make sure that it matches their goal and their motto and stuff. The second one, you want to make sure in every single essay you change the name that's on the essay. For example, yes, you can use the exact same essay for 5 different prompts and 5 different scholarships, but number 1, oh, receiving this Coca-Cola scholarship will really help me in further education. Essay 2, oh, receiving this Jack and Jill Foundation scholarship will really help me with my goal. Number 3, receiving this John Hopkins scholarship will really help me further my education. Number 4, receiving this Gates Millennial scholarship. Number 5, even the exact same essay, the exact same. The 2 things you must change is making sure that their goal is, you know, shown in that essay, and also change the name. It makes them feel special. It makes them feel loved. And make sure that you send it to the right people, because if you send a scholarship meant for Coca-Cola and you send it to the Gates scholarship, that's the same thing as you calling your boyfriend by another guy's name. It's not cute. They're gonna be offended. It's a mess, so don't do that. Number 16, show them that you're smart. Show them that you're a smart cookie. Show your intelligence. So if you have to throw around some big words, no, I'm not telling you to become a thesaurus now, okay? Relax. But throw a little bit of words here and to make it look like you're a well-educated woman and you're a well-educated man. Throw some quotes in there, some Nelson Mandela. Throw some Gandhi in there. Throw some Malcolm X. Throw some something. Throw something in there. So they know, oh, this girl reads. Oh, this guy reads. Oh, you're well-read. Oh, couture. Let me stop. Okay, show them that you're, like, educated, because you go to school, you know, to be educated, but at least be a little educated before that, you know? If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Don't force it, okay? Don't force a quote. Don't force certain things. If it doesn't fit, it's fine. Let it go. But if you're able to, go ahead and do it. Talk about how you read books. Oh, yeah. When I was reading my book, talk about the books you've read. If you were publishing any article, you did some research and your name is on it, talk about that. Bring it up. Showcase your accomplishments. Showcase that you're smart. Now, we are in the final 2 last tips. Like I said, these are the 2 most important things that you want to remember, okay? Number 17. This is one of the most important things you must do for every single essay. Be sure to tie it back to the prompt, to the scholarship, to the college, to the essay, to something. Be sure to tie it all back to what you started off with. Now, I have seen too many people make these mistakes. I know too many people, myself included, I'm not gonna lie, okay? I'm not gonna cap. Too many people, myself included, that they got too lost in the sauce of telling a good story that they forget what the story's supposed to be about. They're not even answering the prompt. It's like when you're cooking, right? There are multiple parts to the recipe. And in the first part, you're spending so much time and effort in this part, making sure it's perfect. You forget that you have 10 other steps, 10 other things to do. You can't be too lost in the sauce. Be sure to actually connect everything back to the prompt. Be sure to know what they're asking for, which is why I thought that was number 1 or number 2 or something like that. Know what they're asking for and keep that in your mind throughout the entire essay. Do not forget. That's why I put it as number 1 and number 2. Do not forget what they're asking for. I know some people who were telling the stories, which I talked about in one of my points, right? You're telling a good story, you're doing this, you do this, but they are so off track. The train is going north and they're going south. Okay, that's how off track they are. So you do not want to be off track. Be sure to stick to the prompt. Be sure to actually answer what they're asking, which is why I brought it up earlier. Be sure to know what they're asking for. Be sure to know the prompt, so you can tie it back the whole time through. A couple times myself where I would write a really, really good essay. It's beautiful. It's bomb. I made a really nice story. I read it through. Then I read the prompt and I'm like, yo, what did I just write? This is not even, I'm not answering the question. What did I just write? Like, what did I actually just write? Don't make the mistake I did. Don't make it be like after you're done writing this beautiful essay, you're not going to use it. It was useless. It was pointless. It was literally the opposite of what you're supposed to do. Don't do that. If you bring up an experience and you don't tie it back to the prompt, why did you bring it up in the first place? I know that sounds mean, but like, it's fluff. And what did I say about fluff? We don't need it, so snip, snip, snip. Cut it out. So number 18, just to recap the most important things that you want to include in your essays. First, you want to be sure to include your personal experience, things that you went through, things that makes you stand out, things that make you John, things that make you Kamari, things that make you Peace, things that make you Michael, things that make you Shalom. Bring up your personal, unique experiences. Be sure to also bring up your major, your career, and your life goals so they know where you're headed to. Be sure to also bring up your extracurriculars so they know how you've been working towards your career goals. Also bring up why you applied to that specific scholarship or that specific school so they literally know why you need the money. And remember, you can use my tips to make the exact same essay and send it out to different schools. But there are 2 parts of your essay that you must always change. Number 1, the motto, the goal of the scholarship organization that they're a part of. The second thing is you want to make sure that you include the name of the scholarship to make them feel special. Remember to just start. I know it can be a lot, I know it can be tedious, but just go ahead and do it. The first step is the hardest one. I know I give a lot of tips and you may not be able to implement them all because of the essay prompts or because of the word count, but implement the ones that you can and let me know how it goes down below. If you're able to win a scholarship with my essay prompt tips and stuff like that, let me know because that would just literally just make my whole day, okay? If you made it this far, you are a real one. So be sure to comment down below a key emoji so everyone else can know that you're a real one too, because you have my 18 golden keys to writing a perfect, beautiful scholarship essay. Be sure to share with a friend. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe for more high school, senior, and college advice. And without further ado, until next time, peace out.